Well, the battle against COVID-19 and providing continued economic support for Canadians will be the main focus, we are told, of the speech from the throne to launch a new session of Parliament on Wednesday. It will also speak to the minority Liberal government's vision for rebuilding the economy with a focus on fairness and green industries. Candice Bergen is the Deputy Leader of Canada's Conservative Party, and she joins me now. Candice Bergen, good to see you again. Thanks for being with me.
Hi, Peter. Good to see you.
Your party held a caucus meeting today, a mix of in-person and virtual attendance, as I understand it. Your leader, Mr. O'Toole, spoke virtually because he's in isolation after testing positive for COVID-19. His wife has also tested positive now. How's he doing?
He's doing very well, actually. He did speak to our caucus today. He's in good spirits and actually very healthy considering what he's dealing with. So we're very grateful for that.
There is an ongoing debate, I think, between the parties about how many MPs should be in the House when Parliament does reconvene. Concerns about safety as we get a spike in COVID-19 infections now. What is your position on the number of MPs being in the House and how many there should be, given we've seen numbers now from federal health officials today and their new modeling that suggests that the number one things Canadians need to do is distance again to prevent a big surge this fall. So where's your party on in-person, face-to-face sittings versus virtual?
Well, the whips and the House leaders are making some of those decisions and talking about it even as we speak. And I think Conservatives are on the same side as Canadians, where we need to have a balance where the priority of keeping healthy and being safe and having safe distances, wearing those masks, using all of the necessary precautions are adhered to, while at the same time going about the business of the country. And certainly Parliament is a very important part of democracy. We fought hard to have Parliament come back. It's been cancelled for the last 6 months. There is so much going on, so many questions for the government. They need to be asked questions. They need to listen to opposition members. So I think, like most Canadians, we're trying to find that balance. And I have no doubt that our whips and all of our parties will be able to come together and find that healthy and good balance.
The other parties seem to be pushing for electronic voting. Your party opposes it. How come?
Well, we've been generally opposed to anything that would keep members of Parliament from doing their job. I think we have seen the Liberals try to use this pandemic to avoid accountability, to avoid scrutiny. But for sure, as we're moving forward in this, we're reasonable. If members of Parliament can't be here and there's a temporary solution so that voting can happen, we are open to looking at that. I think, as I said, the new House Leader has been talking to the Liberal House Leader about that. So we're open to ideas. But listen, make no mistake, if the Liberals are going to try to avoid accountability like they've done in the past, if they're going to try to use this pandemic as an excuse and say it's because of health reasons, and really they're trying to avoid answering some difficult questions, Conservatives are going to stand up for democracy and for parliamentary procedure within health guidelines that are laid out in provinces and in this country.
Let's talk about the speech from the throne. What will Conservatives need to see in that speech on Wednesday to vote for the speech from the throne? Is that still a possibility? Is it a possibility that the official opposition would say, you know what, there's enough in here to like, we'll support it?
Well, for sure we have to hear it before we can make that decision. We have to hear the speech and see what's in the speech. You know, I'll tell you what we're going to be listening for. We're going to be listening for that single mom right now who is trying to decide if she's going to have to take an extra shift at the local subway because she can't pay her rent. We're going to be listening for that farmer out in Manitoba who is paying carbon tax, who is having struggles because of the pandemic. We're going to be listening for fishermen. We're going to be listening for forestry workers. We want to be listening for Canadians who have been left behind by this government who has been picking winners and losers and making decisions that don't benefit all Canadians. So that's what we're going to be listening for. We think that the government, and we've seen the government make a lot of mistakes. Everything is not okay, Peter. I think for the government to just say, listen, it's okay, and we'll just get through this together. We need more substantial answers, and we need solutions that help Canadians right across the country.
Right. I mean, I guess what we want to do is wait. We want to wait and see where we're headed, but we know a little bit about where we've been. So is there any spending that the Liberals have poured into the pandemic, billions and billions, as a response on both the health and safety side and on the economic support side that you think was a waste or wrong and that Conservatives would not have done?
No, I mean, you're right. $343 billion, that is a massive amount of money. And I think that we would have probably spent it in different areas. We think that supporting Canadians when the pandemic hit was very important. We think that the benefits should probably be more flexible and more generous for Canadians who want to be going back to work. We believe that small businesses need to be helped going forward. So we're looking at a going forward basis when this and as this second wave hits, that people will be, first of all, helped. People are concerned. They have questions. They don't know what's going to be happening. And the government has to show that there is a plan. So that's what we're going to be looking for.
All right. Let's finish on this. We also expect to hear the Liberal government's vision for how the economy should be rebuilt with a focus on a fairer society and a greener society. Do you support that approach? Is this the right time to have that conversation?
Well, overall, the problem is the Liberals have not shown that they really have any track record for dealing with the economy during good times. So during bad times, I know as Conservatives, and I know in many parts of this country, there's not a lot of confidence in their ability to deal with the economy in a responsible way during very difficult times, which is what we're facing. We believe certainly that we should be rewarding Canadian innovators, rewarding and encouraging green technology in Canada. We need to be rewarding Canadians' clean, responsible behavior. But at the same time, we have a Liberal government and a Prime Minister who has disrespected and wants to phase out many of our sectors in the West, whether it's our oil and gas sector, whether it's our natural resources, whether it's our agricultural sector. And so that's what we're going to be fighting to support. And we believe that you can do both, that you can support a green economy, you can support getting our responsible natural resources to other parts of the world to displace dirty energy sources, while at the same time supporting Canadian natural resources and agriculture and important sectors like forestry and fishing.
Okay, Candice Bergen, Deputy Leader of the Conservative Party of Canada. Always good to talk to you. Thanks for your time today.
Thanks very much.